I'm Dahlia Von Knight behind the camera for Blush TV. Who do we have here?
Tegan Trex. I hope you've heard of me.
I think we have. Welcome back. How long have you been in the industry?
Oh gosh, this is unfortunately going to reveal my age, but I've been in the industry as of this year almost 10 years.
Beautiful. We got a veteran on our hands. Let's see. Pretty sure everyone knows the answer to this, but in case they don't, how did you get your start?
I got my start as, well, I'm still kind of an indie performer, but I got started as a cam girl. I am still currently a cam girl, cam model, back in 2014. Started on a site called My Free Cams, and mostly I specialize in being a clown for money.
Love that. So, since you've been in the industry for so long, is there anything that you're still trying to accomplish? Anything that you haven't gotten the opportunity to do yet?
So at this point, I've kind of clicked off all of the things on my to-do list. The only thing I haven't shot yet, and at this point, I don't know if I will, I'd have to have a lot of money offered for this, but I have not done a gangbang.
What?
Other than that, I have gotten to do very interesting fetish shoots. I've gotten to do, hookup tapes. I have gotten to do your standard porn, but acting roles. So I've had a lot of fun across the years.
Beautiful. We gotta get you that gangbang though.
Well, The problem is I'm being an indie model, you get a lot of control in what happens, and which means I'd probably have to produce it myself or get paid lots and lots of money. But if I produced it myself, you'd have to pay a bunch of people, set up the logistics. It's more work than you think.
Yes, agreed. Is there any hobbies you're passionate about that your fans might not know about?
Might not know about? Well, seeing as my job has mostly been talking, so most of my fans know this about me who are long-term fans, but I am a big wrestling fan. I do LARPing, which is basically I put on armor and I hit people with sticks. That is something I'm not very open about. And then I am recently getting into Magic the Gathering. This is kind of new. I have a friend who has started basically hosting these Let's Plays. Her name is Jane Judge, and she's trying to trick me into playing this very expensive card game. So I have to spend a lot of money apparently on cardboard. But I don't like losing, and so I have to be good at it, which means I have to spend money.
Awesome. Do you have any special talents or party tricks?
So safer work-wise, probably not. Nothing I can think of offhand. I'm a talker. So if you need somebody, actually, yeah, I can give an improvised speech pretty good. At one party, I once gave a very drunken 5-minute presentation on how to take good dick pics. You would not believe the horrendous dick pics I get. We don't necessarily mind them, but for the love of God, clean your room. Don't take them on the toilet. And please don't be half naked. Either be full naked or kind of clothed.
Oh, great PSA. So this might be the same answer as a previous question, but do you have a current hyperfixation or something you're obsessed with?
So currently, so I am mostly known as a gamer. I got my start, my original name was Gamer Girl Teague. Teague is a nickname. I realized very quickly, though, that's not very marketable. But my current hyperfixation is this game called Dragon Age Veilguard. It is wonderful. I've put at this time, I'm probably about 40 hours into it. No spoilers, but of course my favorite thing about the game is I get to choose who I want to romance. That's always a really fun aspect while being a hero.
Okay. Cool. Do you happen to play any instruments?
Not currently, but when I was in middle school and high school, I was a band kid and I played clarinet.
Clarinet, awesome. Okay. Is there any instrument that you want to learn how to play?
Oh, when I was learning in band, I really wanted to be a drummer. There's so a percussionist technically, but they learn a bunch of different instruments and they get all of the funnest bits and sounds, and it's not just drums, it's also the marimbas and gosh, like triangles and different kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The percussionists always looked like they were having a ton of fun. And playing a woodwind, playing a clarinet, it's very easy to chip your little, it's a reed instrument, so you can chip it, and then you sound like a duck. It's awful. It's so easy to go to Squeak Town. But yes, drums. Drums.
Awesome. I could totally see you as a drummer. Who has been the most influential person in your life and why?
So I have, you have your standard answers, like my mom. I love my mom. She's always been a positive influence. She is aware of what I do. She's also a good Christian lady, so there's a little cognitive dissonance there, but she didn't disown me or anything. She's just like, oh, I'm not surprised. But there is another person. Her name is Kelly. She is the mother of my first ex-boyfriend, who's kind of my college sweetheart. He's the one that got me into the stick fighting thing, and she pretty much at this point, she's taught me how to literally fight. She kind of taught me how to drink, and I've learned a lot of what it means to be independent from her.
That's awesome. I love that. Especially that it's your exes.
I'm not friends with all of my exes, but this one is my favorite ex. We still talk to this day. He's good friends with my partner. So
that's awesome. All right. Do you have a favorite move or pickup line that you like to use with someone that you're into?
Oof. So I tend to be a pretty direct person. That won't surprise many people who've seen me before. But when it comes to men, the easiest pickup line is, "Hey, I think you're cute. Would you like to hang out sometime?" And see, the thing is when men don't get asked out often, and they always have this pressure to have to be the one to pursue. So as an Instagram 6, if I'm willing to go up to any guy and just be like, "Hey, I think you're cute. I would like to hang out with you. Do you want to hang out sometime?" 9 times out of 10, they're going to say yes. And that's even if they weren't interested, because taking the pressure off of them to be willing to basically do the work and the effort, most people will be surprised by that and kind of be like, "I'll give it a shot, at least a first date. I can usually get a first date." When it comes to femmes, no. I still haven't figured that out. And I am very pansexual. I identify as bisexual more because I like the flag. The flag has prettier colors. But I, for the life of me, have never been able to ask out a femme, a woman, and then have it go to a first date. Most of my sapphic experiences have been kind of like a few of us have known each other for a while and like drunk girls kind of experimenting. And I've totally had sex with women, but I've never secured that first date. So I really feel for y'all. I get it. It's hard.
Oh, all right. If you could listen to one genre of music for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Ooh. So I'm kind of a big music fan. I'm one of those people that if I need to do something, I have to put on music, but it'll really help me get anything done. If I had to choose a genre, right now it would probably be future funk, which it's very often influenced by what's called Japanese city pop, but it's got a really fun and groovy vibe. It's perfect for cleaning, it's perfect for striptease, it's perfect for, kind of getting in the mood. So generally that's on in the background, but I listen to a lot of stuff.
Okay, I like it. I'll have to give that a listen. What book do you have on your coffee table for guests to look at right now, and why?
None really. The only thing on my coffee table right now is character sheets. So I guess I could say D&D books, but it's mostly my embarrassing amount of character sheets.
Okay. That's an answer.
If I could pick one, it would also be probably an embarrassing amount of romance novels.
Okay, but I'll take it. If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
Oh, this is always a difficult one, right? But so you kind of think of the fun different superpowers. People think invisibility or flight. But if I had to pick one, it would be the ability to read minds. Now that's kind of in that weird territory where it's you feel a little bit kind of skeezy, but think of the things you could get done.
You're right.
It'd be so easy to become a CEO if you could read people's minds.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's the one I would pick. What is your favorite midnight snack?
Oh gosh. So typically I keep basically cheese. I keep little snack cheeses in my fridge. I'll usually grab that and a handful of grapes in the middle of the night. Or if I'm looking for something, like if I'm really looking for dopamine, I'm a chip girl. I like carbs, but I want them salty. I like potato chips, French fries, that kind of thing.
Love it. Okay. What is a message that everyone in the world needs to hear and understand?
So right now, the world is full of division. And there's a variety of reasons why that is. But generally, you need to act towards your other humans in what's called good faith. Good faith is this idea that everyone is trying their best all the time. And that can be a hard perspective for people to share. But if you start from there and then let people show you they suck, you'll be happier, your interactions will be more genuine, a lot of people would have more sympathy for each other if we could all stop being just as distrusting.
Beautiful answer. What motivates you?
Oof. Okay, so this is not going to surprise that many people who know me pretty well, but you would be surprised at how powerful spite is as a motivator. Because, so I use it very often to do good things or impressive things. I think of all the people who think, you can't do it, you'll never do it. And I'm just like, I'll show you. And that's even like being a better person. Because if you're having a grudge with somebody and what they want is they want everybody to see what they think you are. So all you have to do is spitefully be the best person you can be. And then you get the benefit of like making them look crazy. But also, you know, you can use these kind of negative motivators for superpowers. And I think being like, I'll show you is a much easier motivator to get into instead of like, oh, I can do it. Or because like I have ADHD and nothing works like competition, unfortunately. If you gamify something, I'm good to go.
Beautiful. Love it and agree. How has the industry changed since you've been in, and have these changes been mostly positive?
Oof. So there's been two main changes. One, super not positive. Two, positive question mark. So the first change is primarily I'm an online worker. I've got a lot of like self-content creation, self-production and stuff like that. And there have, unfortunately, this is where I'm going to get a tiny bit political, there have been laws passed lately that have made it really, really hard to do online content creation. There's a lot more censorship now on like social media, but if you're an online creator, that like you really need that to like advertise. Things like we're constantly getting banned from Instagram, we're constantly getting banned from TikTok. If I show like this much cleavage on Instagram, it's an Insta ban, but you know, like Kim Kardashian can show a nipple, that's a problem. But the one that's positive question mark is there's been a lot of like movement towards performers being able to make their own content and sell their own content, which gives us a lot more control. So there's a lot of concern in the industry and from what we call civvies. I know that's kind of, but from people not in the industry, people who are more vanilla, they often worry about whether we're being exploited or not. But platforms like OnlyFans, platforms like Fansly, they give us complete control of how we're presented, what we want to sell, what we want to message, how we're marketed, the kinds of things we do. And that I think is very, very positive. You have a lot of mainstream performers who don't get that level of control over their own stuff. So having platforms like OnlyFans allows them to kind of fill in payment gaps and fill in other marketing niches that they otherwise wouldn't have. The reason why that's a question about it being positive is now everyone has an OnlyFans and the market might be oversaturated, which was not the case when I started in 2014. I started in 2014 before Twitch was big. So since then, I mean, I want my fellow performers to get their bucks, but I will not act like it's not more competitive than it was before.
Yep. Agreed. How do you maintain a work-life balance?
Oof. Lots of oof questions. But this is actually not something I'm great at. One of the things, and this is common from anybody who works from home very often, so a lot of you COVID people who had to work from home kind of understand this, is having a place to go and come back from kind of really helps you get into a work mindset versus a home mindset. When you work from home, you're always a little bit thinking about work. You're always a little bit like, can I relax right now or do I need to answer my messages? So what I try to do is have what I call office hours. So when I go through my platforms, I try to message like once a day and otherwise kind of ignore things outside of stuff that are scheduled, because otherwise I would be there all the time. And when you're online 24/7, you're like exposed to both the best and the worst of the internet all the time. It's really just not good for your mental health. Being an online worker or honestly any sort of mainstream performer now, you're constantly on social media. The only social media we're really allowed to be on and like promo our porn and our stuff is X/Twitter and now Blue Sky. And I don't think I need to explain why both of those are trash fires for a reason, but you kind of get this constant stream of negativity, but like, so that it's got to be a downer. You need to learn to know when to get offline and stay offline. A lot of one of those things of like you put your phone away before bed for an hour before, don't check it, that kind of stuff.
Yep. Beautiful answers. Thank you for being here. If you want to introduce yourself one last time and give us some links and handles where fans can find you.
So my name is Tegan Trex. I have an OnlyFans. I have a Twitch account. I'm very haphazardly on the Twitch account. You can also follow me on Blue Sky, which is tegantrex.bsky.social. I haven't upgraded it to my own thing yet. I don't have an X account anymore. I just wiped that motherfucker. I am on Instagram. Those are the places to follow me. Oh, and I do have a TikTok. Not sure how much longer we're going to have that, but if you want to see goofier parts of me, you can see those on Instagram and TikTok.
Amazing. Don't forget to watch Tegan's scenes and interviews on Blush TV. I'm Dahlia Von Knight behind the camera, and we'll see you later. Bye.